Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be in the world. Welcome to Thoughtful Nuggets and Pearls on Gift of Healing TV. I'm Sara Jane, and for this program, I'm delighted to be joined by Angelina Kedge. Angelina, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you, Sarah, for inviting me. It's really lovely to be here.
It's a real pleasure. And our topic, we're going to be talking about light language, and we are going to be talking in light language. And just as an aside from both of us, we don't expect your mind, your ego to understand what we're saying when we're speaking light language. Please feel the energy. It's about the heart and mind understanding, not the ears and the mind and the ego. And I think you find exactly the same, don't you, Angelina?
Yes, I do, very much so. I have this experience when I've heard it, but also when I've been given it, that it's needing to be given so that the other person receives it in their heart and they receive it in their soul. Um, the Zygons have always said to me that if you are trying to understand it, you miss something. Trying to understand what the words are, and I think most people probably do when they first experience it. I certainly did. Um, but really, if you can just allow yourself not to go into the mind and just allow yourself to be there to receive the energy, that's when you really, really feel something in the heart and in the soul.
Yeah, absolutely. So would you like to share how you've said obviously when you first heard it, but how did you discover that you actually speak it?
Yes. It happened about a year ago, and it happened quite suddenly actually for me too. I was actually given some light language as a video on YouTube by a friend. I had never heard of it before at all. And I watched it and I just found myself becoming really fascinated by it. I then went and listened to some more, and I noticed that there was lots of different kinds of languages and lots of variations with perhaps music, some people sing it and so on. And I left it for a little while, and then I had a sense that maybe I might be doing this. Is this a possibility? So I asked the Zygons, they said yes, but it won't be for a while. And that felt like a few months or something. So I sort of just shelved it really. And then I was watching another one on YouTube, and I thought it was just lovely. It was beautiful, and I was really feeling it. And afterwards, I just thought, oh, I know, I'll just sort of, I'll just balance my chakras. I think I thought afterwards, and all of a sudden, I felt this incredible sense of energy come right through me, just for about maybe 10 seconds. And then after that, there was this sound that came out of my mouth. And I immediately just sort of put my hands over it. Oh my gosh, what is that? You know? And I realised and recognised that it was light language, but I had no sort of pre ideas that it was going to happen at all. It was just so sudden. And I established, of course, that it was from the Zygons. And then I started to do a little bit more after that. And they sort of were teaching me. It's quite interesting. They taught it to me in the ways of the actual language that they were wanting to bring through, because it's quite a complex language, the one that I do bring through. And they started off by just giving me some little sounds at the front of the mouth. So I practiced those, and they were sort of like those kinds of sounds. And then a few days went by, and I had a few more sounds given to me, and these were like those kinds of sounds. And then I had more sounds given to me, and those were ones which were sort of like clicking sounds at the back, a click, clack, that kind of sound. And then there was another sound that also comes in, which is right at the back of the throat, which is a sort of a kind of sound. And this was also foreign to me, all these sounds. I mean, they're not noises that I would normally obviously make in ordinary sort of English language. But it only took about 3 weeks really to have that. And then the next time I actually brought something through, it was almost bringing everything together, all those different sounds. I then practiced on a number of people in a different Facebook group for a couple of months. That was really to give me sort of practice in it, really, to be able to do it. And then I've just carried on from there. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and mine was very different, and I think that's one of the reasons, you know, we're going to share our stories, because it's going to be the way that if you find you can speak this, your story is going to be unique to you. A couple of people I know, and we must have all been in some sort of conversation together via the internet, bearing in mind that at the time I think Patricia was in Scotland and Janine's in New Zealand. So and they were talking, and they were both saying they speak it, and I think they shared a little bit of it, and it was just like, whoa, what's this? And I don't know whether but it was literally just that was it, that was that conversation. And I don't know whether it was a few days later or whatever, and I think I might have just been standing in the kitchen and I was thinking, okay, what was that they was doing? And then suddenly it was just all coming out. There was no practice, there was no anything. It was just, it all came out. And at that stage, I was actually hearing people say, oh, you can't sing it. You don't sing it. And I was thinking, well, I'm sorry, but I do. Because I work with sound and tone anyway, I'm not a singer. I'm really not a singer. But because all this is channeled, it's very different. And sort of, as I was saying to you before, I was giving a talk on something, and I don't think it was actually on light language, but it was about sound. It actually might have been about the dragons. I don't know. But anyway, whatever. And I sang some of this. And one of the ladies sort of in the group, sort of her reaction was, that was a lullaby. And it's what people feel. And and if we share sort of some of the stories of people's comments and remarks to us after they've experienced it, because it's not about hearing it, it's about experiencing it, I think. And we are going to do some, folks. And we're going to try a little experiment, for want of a better way. I have done this once before with somebody. We're going to have a little conversation, which is going to be a real experience for us too. And yes, maybe if we've got time at the end, I'll sort of just maybe do a little bit of sung, and that will very much be a matter of feel it. It's not about what you hear. So I know that with the sound, because not necessarily the best of microphones for singing, but sort of we'll do it. So have you got a couple of stories of people's experiences when they've witnessed the light language?
Yes, there's several actually. Just recently, I was running a group and I did a little bit of light language. It's only a couple of minutes, really. And the person themselves, one person actually said that they felt so peaceful and that they hadn't actually felt that peaceful for a very long time. And it was so moving because they were very, very touched by that themselves. In the same group, there was someone else who had a completely different experience, even though it was the same light language. And this is often something that I find also, that people are moved in a very different kind of way. She just felt that she wanted to cry and she was just in tears. And she felt almost as if she was having sort of two hands on her shoulders, and that they were reminding her of who she was. And it, again, it was such a touching experience for her, something that the Zygons generally tend to try to sort of wake us up a little bit, to raise our vibration. And that was her experience of that from the light language. The other kind of light language that I have also done, this has been a little bit more for myself and not so much other people, is for physical conditions. And I've had some remarkable experiences myself with that, where I've listened to it and there's been a complete shift of physical experience as a result, whether that's pain, the pain has gone. Another experience I had was I got a pain in my back, and I did a very short sort of 5 minutes worth of the light language, and I listened to it back for the first time, and I sort of found myself moving. My whole body was sort of moving back like this. I'm not sure if you can really see, but I was stretching my back right back like in this way, and suddenly there was a click, and I was just so surprised by that experience, and the pain just completely, disappeared afterwards. Other people have also said a few things like that as well. Toothache, I think someone had, and the toothache disappeared, the following day. So it seems to be a very wide experience that people can have from this. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I've definitely had the sort of people who sort of said the peace they felt, and in respect of the individual sort of wanted to cry and sort of being more in tune with themselves. That's almost tears of joy, isn't it? It's not sort of tears of upset or hurt or whatever. That's sort of that those tears of joy of I'm being given permission to be me.
Yes.
And that is, I think that is what some people have sort of said. It's about they feel it. Yeah, one person sort of said to me, I didn't require that at the moment. It's been filed away until I require it. It's, okay, fine. It has to be what is for each individual. Because I work with sound, and it is a sound that is the voice. I know I've had people with the I am gonna try the light language with, but then sometimes when I sort of do those sessions, I sort of may bring in a bit of light language at the end, or if I'm a Reiki session, if somebody's going through stuff, may bring in a bit of the light language. I know people would refer to it as light language, the language of light. I actually refer to it as our soul language, and I share a monthly. At one stage, I was doing 2 a month. And I suppose that was just building my confidence and whatever. But all those little videos are on sort of my personal website, and I call it Soul Wisdom, because I really do feel it's a message that's coming from soul, from actually that makes it from source.
Yes. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I very much refer to it as Soul Wisdom. And they're just, you said it tends to be sort of like something like a couple of minutes, and it probably never make 3 minutes, those little videos. But it is a matter of trying to switch off your mind and just feel it, because the mind, the ego, is not going to be and yeah, you're right about the sounds can be. I find gratefully I can roll my R's. I've always been able to roll my R's, and it's amazing how much that you can get that type of thing in there, that difference. That sometimes it's almost as if it's not a word. it's more of a sound, but no, I think it's and people tend to enjoy it. In fact, my middle sister, after she'd had that experience, that conversation with the family, and then I think it was all during lockdowns, and I was doing a virtual Indian head massage for her, because it's amazing what you can do virtually, even if it's something that's meant to be hands-on. And she said, "Oh, Sarah, will you do a little bit more for me, please?" and for me to get that from family, that is something.
Yeah, very special.
No, I genuinely do feel that is very special. I know it wasn't with the light language, but it was with the sound. My father, when he was going through 4 lots of cancer and chemo and radiotherapy and whatever, and eventually passed, but it made a huge difference to him. And that was before, well, that's nearly 12 years ago. It was long before I knew about the light language. But I think sometimes just a sound, it can how does it come? We're a vibration, the sound is a vibration, the light language is a sound, it's a vibration.
Yes.
And our aches, pains, illnesses and ailments, stresses and strains are our vibration out of sync. And so the energies, whether sung, whether spoken, if it's the right vibration, that sound, it can literally pull our vibration back into sync. And I think that's what's happening. The peace, the calm, the joy, they're all the lovely positive feelings that people can get from this. So to that end, and as we are 15 minutes in, it might be a good idea to stop me from talking in English and we do a little bit of light language. Would you like to start by sharing a short message? And this won't be the conversation. We'll just do a little sort of message each, but start by sharing.
Sure, absolutely. Excuse me. I did ask the Zygons what they were wanting to share actually a little bit before, and often what they love to do is simply just to raise vibration towards love, and that's what this light language is going to be. Adadana, ikala aka, ishtona una, ipusta ashti unda ishala akana. Ibona jina kana gindala dana. Iuka aka, unkopishta ala, ibona jina gona. Ikala uko, ishkla aka, itala. Istusta aspo unda, ibona jina gona alana. Ikona shika alade, istubona itala di jadana. Ibona jina gona aj, tikona tal. Ispusta asto, ishbuna ida, ikona ala, dishtana. Ipusta ako und bula ashtuna unga ajana. Ibona jina kona tilada. Ibona jona idanu itutana bana. Gana. Gana.
Thank you. I'm getting the sense that the message is following on from that. It's about love for self. I always work eyes closed. So if you feel like closing your eyes, folks, to listen, please do. Kiraka ashtiniki ma at tahang kanchi lakai. Oech tanaha antea. Elka hashtanaki. Los tanaka maitai. Hekta hain chian. Nahas tanahai miki. Fehantaranake eshtiniama. Nok tahanik tahaini. Shaha akt tanokohai. Nahas tanakai. Ka apta I ashtinina. Nokoronai. Makta I ash. Nahatai. Yentiriki a. Yoshiniki mi ni ai. Tara anti. O ostanaka e. Peakt ta I. Shiamanaka ta a iche. Nastayaka. Int turamai aktayanakata. Namaste.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Now I feel because of the other work, it feels very much that the finishing with the namaste, which is honoring the love, honoring the positive in everybody, if you like. And because of working with the sound, that breath, it's almost I have the feeling it's like a dragon breath that's clearing negative energy. So if you're sort of wondering whether you've heard it, but sort of, so it's unique, isn't it? There's a similarity, but there's a uniqueness for us all that the soul still understands.
Yes, absolutely. I think each person receives it very differently. Although the actual light language is given, and that is the same, whatever you're giving to each individual person, the way that each individual person receives it is so different, very, very different. And I think that makes it actually, it's unique, even that experience for each of the people as well who listen to it. They could possibly, for example, listen to exactly the same audio again, and then the next time when they're listening to it, there'll be a different experience because they're in a different space within themselves in that moment.
And that's the joy of it, because we've all had different experiences in life, but many of us have felt the same, although the experiences have been different. It's created feelings within us, those feelings of insecurity, unwanted, unloved, not good enough. Loads of different experiences can create those same feelings within people, and they can support with the experience as well as the feelings. And it's the experiences, for want of a better way, that are about the healing. Then our feelings can change and grow. So let's do a little conversation, shall we?
I have no idea how this is going to go, but it will be fun.
No, I know I did it once before with Nolia. We had a couple of programs, light language, with Janine being one of the people that was a guest, sort of, because we did some with the folks down under and then some with people more in our neck of the woods. And that's brilliant, because there literally are people all over the world that can do this, and there is no reason why those of you listening, whether it's live, whether it's the recording, whenever it is, there's no reason why you potentially can't as well. And your experience of being able to do that will come in your own unique way. So do you wish to start, or would you prefer I did?
I'm happy to start. Yeah. Abadina, ikala aka utota, ishtina ata ubutishkala katana, ishona ona itbona kina ala idona ashtana.
Kia katoha ramanaka ashtanaka e te me hast haini a ak tormanaka ish tanakai ia interakai a no e tata karaneke.
Idona shina ala anda, ikala ashta, ido ona, ikala ishta ata. Istona osta, ipona shina tina ala dana, ikoda oda, ipona ona, ijanina okula adana.
Kia makatoho ranai isht a at tanakai niha ora kohanta ashea ma antarakai ika oeshtaina a areke nahat tanahai ki o manatareke.
Idona jina gana, ikola ala, idina jina data, istisa oshti inta. Isto ona, idona, itura aga, idina ada, ijuna anadina dana.
No te akakanishtia o katahana henia o at tanake shi ana katea manakaya.
Ijona dina lana, ikola ana, ikona jina dana, tila. Igona iganagona jina tala istona itala. Ikola arsdona istona izarbina ona. Ila arsdona tina godona junadina talana.
Kia katahanake, na ashtanake, na atana mai tayana teishti, oleta, na aktana ne I oaka.
Idona jina dona akana. Isto sa ashta, kila ata uktar. Istula ista ota ita klatatina. Ikona tila kata una ika atya. Istula ita anish lundala tit klatala. Idona ista una tala. Una ikula anda undura jina.
Ni hatata kahana heshta, na et tanaka iti.
Idon jina agana udona pita dana. Adana. Adana.
Namaste. I'm not sure who was coming through, but they were having the giggles.
Absolutely. Oh, that was an amazing experience. There was sort of like fun there. There was laughter. There was some sort of more serious notes. There was agreements with each other. It was amazing. Yeah, absolutely. First experience for me. Absolutely. So thank you.
Oh, this is what this is about. It's about sort of experiencing and having fun with it. Let's just finish with a little bit of sung. Sort of, we'll keep this short, please, because I know I can sing this for ages. So let's just go with what. And as I said, folks, it is about feeling this, not hearing it. You know, not what the ears sort of get. Wow, I always love doing that. And in some respects, I know it sounds very different because I suppose with the singing side of it, you lose some of the other bits that you can't put into the song.
No, but it's a beautiful vibration, though, isn't it? You know, it feels quite different, I think, when it's sung like that.
Yeah.
It's got a completely different sort of energy, and yeah, it's beautiful.
But then I know that I work with the sound, the toning, so I know, and I don't think I've actually heard anybody else sing it, so it's going to be interesting to potentially sort of experience that. So I am going to put your website in, because we've been going for sort of all about half an hour, and we try to keep these programs to that. So Angelina, thank you so much. I am going to put your website under the video on YouTube. I'm also going to put a link to the soul, the soul language page, the soul wisdom page from my own personal website under there, so that you can go in and listen to as much as you like. When I get the monthly messages, I get the sense I'm given the topic, so that you potentially can think, okay, fine, that topic speaks to me. So sort of, but yes, if you feel like getting in touch with us, just experience the light language, feel it. It speaks on a depth that that I think we all could do with at the moment. Yeah, worldwide. So that the more people can tune into it from heart and soul, the better. Any final words, Angelina?
I'd just like to share, if there is anybody there that actually feels that they would like to do it, just have faith. Just have faith in yourself that one day it will happen for you. Just the same as with ourselves here. You know, it's very much by surprise, and that may also be your journey. It may also be similar to you as well. Whichever way it comes to you, enjoy it and share it.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I really couldn't. You will connect. I think the deeper we go into our heart and soul, the more we connect with like-minded people, and we can have conversations with them that we can't have with an awful lot of other people. And it's so freeing to be able to sit and talk to somebody, whether it's by the internet, whether it's in person, and be able to say things so openly and honestly. And we are all amazing beings. And Angelina has shared to do with the Zygons on the Gift of Healing TV website. So go to our catch-up pages. You will find that interview there. So that, because if you've been thinking, what's she talking about? You'll find out what she's talking about, but check her website out as well. That's what we do. That's what we're here for. So enjoy. Angelina, thank you so very much. I've just put your website up in the chat for folks, but I will make sure that they're both under the video on YouTube. So people can just experience more. All the videos on my website are free to watch, so make the most of it. Next week, we have a today's conversation, how to get back to love. And our guest is Neen Forder. So please feel free to join us. Any of our programs, they are all live initially and free to watch. So thank you. Angelina, thank you so much. Take care, be safe, stay well. Namaste, sweet souls. Bye.